Welcome to Local Coordinator Training number 3. Today we're going to look at the exchange student process. You see, long before a student becomes an exchange student, they dream about coming to America, they study English, they finally one day meet a sending partner, and they get connected with high school in the USA. We're going to talk about the ways that we find students and how we work with them to get them prepared to come to the United States.
In the year 350 BC, approximately, they weren't great with calendars back then. Aristotle learned that, hold on a second, the earth is not flat like we think it is. And back in that time, that was like a big, now, this news that the earth is a sphere is very significant. It's the kind of thing that opens your mind and opens your brain to new things. Now, not by their own fault, but would you agree with me that many people in this world still believe in one way or another that the earth is flat? I'm saying it metaphorically, not literally. You remember what it was like when you got off the plane in the United States? When I landed in Bulgaria and lived there for 3 years, it's like, oh man, this is a brand new experience. I get to see what this world is really all about. We're outside of our bubble and we know something new. Do you realize that every time you recruit a kid to go live in a different part of the world, you are teaching them that the world is round and not flat?
I am excited about changing those students' lives. And I've seen this happening many times. I've personally brought to America 50 students with Southwestern. So let's share a little bit about high school in the USA and the way I'm developing the program in Bulgaria. First of all, what I do, and I already started that, is Paid Forward. It is a volunteering programs with the freshmen and the sophomores and even juniors. We would do 4 value-added lectures / talks. The first one is, should I study or not? It's just about the school. So we're talking about this, the habits they're developing, the struggle they have, and then I promote the high school program at the end and I give out flyers. School is going crazy about it. Kids really get excited about it because it's a good thing for them. Whether they come and have the means to afford to go to the US or the desire to want to go to the US, it doesn't matter because we're like opening eyes for some of those students. So it's a win-win situation for them, first of all, and then for us too. So, and it's great when you serve both sides equally.
Now, I want to get down to business. I'm going to switch gears for just a second here. And I want to talk with you about this final tool that we have called the agent tracking or the sending partner tracking tool. And I've got Lucy's pulled up here, but you can see that she's got a list of all the names and the cities that she's working with and the schools, maybe the referral of where they come from these schools, and when she's contacted them, the results of the contact and meeting with the principals, and what that looks like.
Once an exchange student has decided that they want to come to the United States and they've contacted one of our sending partners, they begin the application process. And that has an online portion as well as a PDF portion. It takes weeks, maybe months, for them to get that all filled out because they have to get transcripts from their school. They have to get medical examinations and immunization shot records from when they were children. Students not only have to fill out an extensive application that can weed out some students, but a determined student will finish the process. But they also have a stringent interview process. The interview process involves 2 parts. One is it has the ELTIS test, which is the English language proficiency test. Then the students will have a student interview. Now, the student interview typically lasts 2 hours and is done by the sending partner. And they're going to ask a lot of questions to try to determine the student's maturity as well as the student's readiness for being able to come to the United States and assimilate into our culture, and also understanding their motivation. We want to know, is the student wanting to just get a job here someday, make friends, be a tourist, or do they really want to have a cultural exchange? And we're trying to impress upon them the value of getting to know their host families and connecting with their schools. We impress on the students that their number one job is to make a great friendship relationship with their host families. And number two is to do well in school. The students also have an interview directly with me on a Skype call or somebody from our national office. So we're screening people quite rigorously before they come to the United States. After the student has turned in their application and we've accepted them into our program, we send to them the DS 2019 form. The students will take the DS 2019 and bring it to the U.S. Embassy in their home country. They'll have an interview with the U.S. Embassy there, and they must pass that one as well. They pay their fee, but before they can purchase their tickets and pack their bags, we have training modules for the students that they need to go through to help them understand how to be great exchange students and ambassadors for their country. These training modules talk with the students about the value of having humility when they meet their host families and not to take things for granted. Basically, we're trying to teach them how to not be typical high school kids. Because sometimes high school kids can be rude or insensitive, and sometimes that's because they aren't aware of the cultural norms. Other times that's just because they're high school kids. We want to knock that out of them and help them be great ambassadors so that when they arrive in the United States, being an HSUSA exchange student, they'll represent themselves and our organization well.